Have you seen the new cartoon series? There's a new cartoon series that is being made in Kenya by, I think, a company called Kukua, and the cartoon series is called Sema. It's called Sema, yeah. And it's a cartoon series about children who are, partly scientists, who go around solving environmental problems and things of that nature. And it's a typical Western cartoon series. It has the villain and it has the hero. And the hero in this cartoon series is a small girl. And when you watch that cartoon, it's very professionally made. It's very well done. And it looks innocent. It looks very innocent enough. And you might even applaud it, and you might even show it to your children. And that's what we want to discuss today. So the issue about this cartoon series is who is producing this cartoon series and why are they doing it? What is the objective? When you go to their website, they already said that one of the objectives in producing this cartoon series is something they are calling diversity and inclusion. What that means is that they are trying to push the the lesbian agenda in Kenya. And the purpose of producing this cartoon is to push that agenda. Now, who are these people, this company that is producing these cartoons? Of course, it's the Mzungu. And they are local. We always have sellout coconuts who are always ready to collaborate. So it's a Mzungu company that has come into Kenya to produce cartoons for Kenyan children. Now, this raises a very important question about African men. How can you allow foreigners to come into your country and teach your children for you? How do you let your enemy become the teacher of your own children? So what messages are they sending to the children when they watch this cartoon? First of all, like I told you, they have a lesbian agenda using the cartoon. So the lead of the series, the hero, is a small girl, and she's been pushed in front, and all the male characters have been put below her. So they're sending a very clear message, okay? And you really don't see the parents showing up a lot in this cartoon. So you have these autonomous children running around, presumably saving the world from an evil person. And of course, the evil person is a male, and is an African male. And that character of the evil person has an interesting name. I think it's called Tabor. And that name has its own occultic meaning. I don't want to go there right now. But it's interesting when you look at this male character, the villain, he has one eye. So already, when you look at this cartoon, it has all the elements of the occult. All the elements. It has pyramids. It has a one-eyed character, which is very important. And the lead is a small girl. That's a message on its own. And it also has a goat. Now, a goat sounds innocuous. It sounds innocent. Like, what's the issue with the goat? How can there be a goat, becoming an issue? Yeah, but, well, in the occult, a goat, or the hoofed one, represents something. It represents an entity. It's like anytime you see a goat and an owl, those two animals are supposed to mean something. So in this case, they have a white goat as being a friend, I don't know, a pet, and the goat lives with them, and they declare to the goat that they love the goat. So they are sending a message. This is not so innocent like you think. So in Kenyan culture, as you very well know, a goat is not a pet. It's never a pet. A goat is a source of food, right? But in this case, they are trying to tell the children that a goat is not a source of food, it is a pet. So that if you say you're going to kill the goat, it's supposed to induce feelings of guilt. So basically what the Mzungu is trying to do is trying to convince you not to eat meat. See, that they have an agenda of lab-grown meat. Okay? And that's a whole other story, and it has other implications. But for now, all we have to note is that they're trying to convince our children that animals that are meant for food are pets. They're also trying to convince the children that you're supposed to live inside the house with an animal. That you're supposed to declare that you love an animal. And that is going somewhere. Okay? They're starting the children on the path that leads to... You've seen the Mzungu saying that they're going to get married to an animal. So they're trying to slowly inculcate into the brains of the kids that you're supposed to declare to a goat that you love the goat. Now, who does the goat represent? In the occult, the goat is called the hoofed one. Who is the hoofed one? It's the Baphomet goat, right? That's the entity, the creature that they worship, right? The Baphomet goat. And now here, anytime this cartoon begins, when it starts, you hear the children declaring that they love the goat. No, you need to understand who the goat is. You can even go back into Christianity if you want to see the contrast properly. And in Christianity, they always use images of animals. And they use the lamb and the sheep to represent something. They use the goat to represent something. You're told in the final day, there's going to be a separation between the sheep and the goats, right? To mean something. So within that context, that's why they have the goat. And that's why they're having the children declare their love for the goat. Normally, you will normally see in this sort of thing, you'll normally see a small lamb being the pet, usually, right? But in this case, it's the goat. And the children, every single time that show begins, the children have to declare their love for the goat, for the hoofed one. Now, if you know who the hoofed one is, you'll understand what the Mzungu is trying to train our children to do. So this cartoon, it looks innocent, but it has multiple layers of hidden meanings. They are literally casting spells on our children. And true to form, the African man in Kenya will neither defend his children or protect them. We've seen this multiple times. So a Mzungu is able to come into the country and start teaching your children things that you don't understand. On the surface, it looks innocent, but on the inside, they're casting spells. And they're beginning the process of molding the minds of very young babies, because this cartoon series is targeted between, I guess, children who are 3 years old, all the way maybe to 7 or 8 or 9 years old, who have to declare their love for the goat, who have to know that the village is controlled by the one-eyed man who lives inside a pyramid. So all the symbolism of the occult is inside this cartoon. So when you go to their website, you'll see that they say that one of their goals is what? Diversity and inclusion. So what does that mean in the Western world? Diversity and inclusion. On the surface of it, they are saying that when you look at the website, and I'll show you the picture, they have a picture of a small, presumably African girl and a Mzungu girl. But this is Kenya. We don't have many Mzungu in Kenya, so what are they talking about? Diversity and inclusion of the different races. We really don't have that many different races in Kenya. Kenya is like 99% African. So the diversity and inclusion they're talking about has nothing to do with racial diversity and inclusion. It's a different kind of diversity and inclusion. This is part of the LBGT whatever agenda. That's why the lead is a female, and that's what they're talking about when they talk about to encourage children to accept everyone. Now, the everyone they are talking about, you very well know what it is. So we are raising the issue: who are these Mzungus to come into our country to try and teach our children their usual demonic garbage? We are really opposed to what they're doing, and as you very well know, no one is going to stop them, because again, the government exists to represent their interests, not our interests, and most of you worship them as God, so you won't stop them. But us, HRV, so they're saying that they want to mold our children so that they can have a quote-unquote global mindset and embrace cultural diversity. These are key terms. These are the same people that have done everything like to bring Western society to its knees. That's how they start, using words like cultural diversity. Cultural diversity simply means against African culture. That's all they're saying. That they want to impose their culture, their perversions, everything that is perverse and wrong, they want to impose it on us. And they're beginning with our children, and they're telling you to your face. And you won't hear anyone in the government saying, wait a minute, who are these Mzungus training our children? Because as you very well know, Africans never stand up for their kids, ever. A Mzungu can come in and rape your kids and you do nothing. Now they're raping the minds of our kids, and no one is talking about it. Not only that, they're making money from it. They're profiting from it. Making money, ruining the minds of our babies. It looks innocent, but it is not innocent. It is something that should be opposed. And even if it was an innocent cartoon, I would still be opposed to it. Because the issue remains, who is this Mzungu coming into our country to teach our children? Why would I allow my kids to be trained by those who hate us the most? They should focus on their own country. They have a country. They can produce their own cartoons in their country. Why are they coming to produce any cultural material within our country? So, to the makers of Kukua, we just want to say, as a political organization, we are totally opposed to your presence in Kenya. We are opposed to what you're trying to do. We are opposed to your agenda. We are opposed to the occult symbology you've put inside that cartoon. We are opposed to what you're talking about, cultural diversity. Totally opposed to that. We are opposed to the global mindset you're talking about. The global mindset, we all know, is a code word for Mzungu mindset. We are opposed to whatever you're doing, and we would desire that you stop. This in this cartoon is the introduction of to the children concepts to do with sexual love, and this is targeted at children who are 3 years old. You will see in that cartoon, you'll see the characters, the child characters, kissing, doing all sorts of strange things. You need to watch it very carefully. So the question becomes, why are children kissing? Why? See, all this is very suspicious. And I thought we had a film standards commission of people who are supposed to, look into all of this sort of thing. But they're not looking into this. Why? Because it's being produced by Mzungu. This is the problem when you have coconuts in positions of authority, because they won't do their job. And we need them to do their job. We need them to watch the cartoon, look at what the characters are doing and saying, look at the agenda behind these characters and the narrative they're trying to give, and ask, what does that have to do with our best interests? How can you allow foreigners, especially the worst of them, to come into a country to try and capture the minds of babies into their demonic agenda? So we are raising issue about that. They also have a minor character who is a chef. And the character of the chef is immediately not African. Looks African, but not African. Speaks with a presumably Italian accent and only cooks Italian foods. So what message are they sending to the children? They're sending the message of rejecting our diet. Now, why would they want us to reject our diet? Why? What would be the agenda behind them pushing the idea that it is only a European diet that they should be consuming? That a chef typically is supposed to be a mzungu or something like that. It's the usual glorification of what? Of everything that the mzungu does. Everything they do is supposed to be good. Everything that we do is supposed to be bad. Which is why they set the character of the chef as an Italian. An Italian on the inside and an African on the outside. The other thing you'll notice in the cartoon is you'll see they have they keep on showing the letter T. Like there's a swimming pool in the shape of T. You keep on seeing the letter T all over that cartoon. And you keep on thinking, why do they have all this letter T? What does that mean? Well, basically, in terms of esoteric stuff, it's not really a letter T. It's the sign. It's the symbol of Tau, which is basically from the ancient cult of Tammuz, and it is also associated with the letter Theta, which is a Greek letter, which was an emblem of death that the ancient Greek cults have. So there's a lot of hidden stuff in this cartoon, and it makes it really, very suspicious. Like you can't really watch it without noticing these things. Even when you're not initiated in this kind of information. I mean, some things just jump out at you and you're like, why are they doing this and what does this mean? Which means these people are probably casting spells on the children by all the sort of magic stuff they've put in this cartoon. It's terrible. I'll tell you, it's terrible. As we are saying, like the main villain is called Tobor, and he lives in a pyramid. And on top of the pyramid, there's something like it's shaped like an eye. So of all the buildings that someone could live in, how many people have you ever seen living inside a pyramid? So how can it be that of all the buildings that exist, they chose a pyramid with an eye on top of it to represent where the character called Tobor lives? And what is interesting is that they're also doing backward spellings, because Tobor is the backward spelling of robot. So they're doing all this weird stuff and packaging it and then presenting it to our children. Unaona, mumeachilia wazungu sana, mumewaachilia sana, that they can come into Kenya and do anything they want without being challenged by anyone. And you're busy clapping, celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate about what they're trying to do. In one scene that I'm going to put up, you see the pyramid, and then you see the letter T, very giant, and then you see a lot of small children playing around the pyramid. In other words, the message they're sending is that the pyramid is a place of fun, is a place where children should go and enjoy themselves is a good place. Now, we all know that the pyramid in the occult represents anything other than a fun place. But they're trying to change that image into the minds of very small babies so that they can associate fun and good things coming from the pyramid. You realize that the pyramid is a temple to a certain religion, to the occult. It's a place of worship. So the imagery of this cartoon it shows you, they are not even hiding it, that these are Luciferians now setting up the operation to capture the hearts and minds of the babies. And you're letting them. And you never say anything, and you never protest. Because it's Mzungu, right? So all the children are supposed to get sucked into this new occultic religion that they're now introducing to the babies. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Kenya's time has come. Our time has come. Your time has come. A time to succeed and not fail. A time to grow wealth and not poverty. A time to go up and not down. It's time for you to stop walking and drive your car. Stop renting and buy yourself a house. It's your time to get blessed. Join the CCV movement and together let us keep poverty and unemployment out of Kenya. Become a member today. Donate what you can. And remember that the CCV is the only political organization in Kenya that is squarely built upon Christian values, unlike the rest. We'll see you next time. Thank you.